In the bustling heart of India lay Sahar Nagar, a city that never slept, never paused, and certainly never waited. Its streets pulsed with life. Chaat vendors shouting their offers, impatient drivers leaning on their horns, and pedestrians weaving through traffic like it was a Bollywood dance sequence. 17-year-old Arav Mehra had grown up here. Tall and sharp-eyed, with messy hair and headphones always dangling from his neck, Arav was smart. He could fix any mobile phone, top his class if he tried, and debate any adult into silence. But like many others in Saharnagar, he had developed a habit far more dangerous than he realized. He didn't care. Not about rules, not about public spaces, not about the fact that his city was slowly falling apart under the weight of its own people's ignorance. He threw wrappers on the road, spat chewing gum onto footpaths, jumped red lights on his cycle like he was starring in an action film. When his friends joked about his bravery, he smirked and replied, "Yeah, India, hi bye. No one cares." But one day, something strange happened. The city, tired of being ignored, disrespected, and abused, spoke back. It was a humid Tuesday afternoon. Arav was riding back from tuition when the traffic light turned red. The road was empty. Naturally, he sped through without stopping. Behind him, a voice echoed, not from a person, but from somewhere else. Another impatient genius. "Applause, please." He slammed his brakes and looked around. Who said that? But there was no one, just the rustling of trees and a dog sleeping under a tea stall. Shaking his head, he rode on. 10 minutes later, he stopped at his favorite vada pav stall. As always, he devoured the spicy snack and tossed the paper plate onto the pavement without a thought. A breeze picked it up and slapped it right back into his face. "Not your personal dustbin, buddy," said a gravelly voice. His eyes darted to the ground. The road itself was speaking. "You dirty me every day," it growled. "And still expect me to carry you home safely?" Arav froze. Okay, that's not normal. When he reached his neighborhood, the voices multiplied. The buildings were whispering. The walls were sighing. "Another pond stain. Why do they spit on me?" "Posters again. I'm not your notice board." Even the trees murmured. "I give you shade, you give me plastic bags and nails." It was as if the entire city had woken up, and it was angry. When Arav reached home, he ran to the bathroom to wash his face, hoping he was hallucinating. As he turned on the tap, it coughed and said, "Could you not waste half my tank every time you wash a dish?" He screamed, "Ma! The bathroom's haunted!" His mother walked in calmly. "It's just the old pipes, beta. Calm down." But Arav knew what he had heard. That night, he couldn't sleep. The voices echoed in his mind. They weren't just complaints, they were mirrors. And suddenly, memories started flashing before his eyes. The old woman who slipped on a banana peel near his apartment. He'd walked right past. The friend who graffitied a wall with spray paint. He had laughed. The dozens of times he spat, littered, and broke rules simply because everyone else did it. And now, for the first time, he felt ashamed. The next morning, everything was quiet again. No voices, no scolding. But something had changed inside him. He picked up the wrapper from the ground before boarding his bus and threw it into a dustbin. The chaiwala raised an eyebrow. On the bus, he reminded an uncle to wear a mask properly. He waited patiently at red lights, even if the road was empty. He even started carrying his own water bottle to avoid using plastic. It wasn't easy. Some people laughed, some stared. One biker yelled, "Hero ban raha hai kya?" But Arav didn't care anymore, because for the first time, he cared about something bigger than himself. Later that week, Arav started posting videos online with the hashtag Dear City. In each one, he spoke to the people the way the city had spoken to him. You clean your house. Why not your street? Honking doesn't move traffic. It just moves peace away. Civil sense isn't small, it's the foundation of big change. The videos went viral. Soon, students from other schools and colleges began joining in. A group of teens formed a street respect squad, not to shout at people, but to gently remind them, to set examples, and to prove that change was possible. Shopkeepers took notice. A pawn seller placed a bin beside his stall. A samosa vendor cleaned the area before opening. An auto rickshaw driver even put up a little sign behind his seat. Polite passengers make peaceful rides. Arav's school invited him to speak on Environment Day. He stood nervously in front of the assembly and said, "We blame politicians, traffic, and bad systems. But what about our own behavior? Every wrapper we throw, every red light we jump, every tree we ignore. It matters. We think our actions are too small to change anything. But the truth is, if everyone cleaned up their 1 square meter of space, the whole country would shine. That day, for the first time, people clapped not because of marks or medals, but because Arav had sparked something real.